How many of you want to go from Struggle-ville to elegant high-ticket offers that convert premium clients and at least 5 times your business? And how many of you want to be wildly cash flow positive? Oh my goodness. We had a tragedy in our family this week, and I was like, this is so important while we're transforming our clients' lives and serving to our highest. I mean, doesn't that just sound awesome? I'm here today with Laura Chattington, and Carissa is her partner, Valente, who she's a rock star, among other things. To give you some quick background, they help you go from Struggle-ville to designing elegant, high-ticket offers, because that's the problem. A lot of us don't know what our offer is. What are we really doing for our clients? And these offers convert premium clients, and they scale our business at least 5 times. You know what I love about them? They are two over 40, us older women, mature women, female entrepreneurs. They help coaches and consultants simplify, accelerate, and super scale their business. And get this, their VIP services start at $100 grand. So if you get in on this free masterclass, you are getting top-notch information from them. They'll help you become wildly cash flow. Don't you love that? Wildly cash flow positive while transforming your clients' lives, and leave their trainings with something that you can use to move and change your world. Laura is one of the most dynamic and engaging speakers training in this space. She's helping her audience experience breakthroughs, personal quantum leaps at their Offer Accelerator Live Masterclass. Laura, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Laurie. Thank you for that amazing introduction. I'm really, really pleased to be here tonight.
Oh, well, you know, you can't, when I hear this thing about offer, it means so much to me, because that's been my transformation. I've gone from coach, which is so broad, to what, you know, really, what is it I really do? And how is it that I really help people? Because I can put something out there, but if it's not helping people, it's no good. And my highest thing is that I really want to help people do the thing they want to do. And for me, of course, I want to help them leave a legacy for their family. So let's just get into this. What inspired you to get started in this?
Yeah, and I think everybody comes from the place that you were talking about. And I think there's always a kind of sequence of events that kind of gets you to a point where you are. And when I think back, and it's obvious when you think back, when I think back, I was working in the corporate world, and I was actually directing global marketing and communication campaigns with kind of big, swanky clients. But I had a side gig. I had a passion. And how many of you have worked a job and you're actually awesome at it, but your heart, it's not in it? And that was kind of exactly where I was. You know, I was actually awesome at my job. People hired me to do my job, but I wasn't getting that kind of buzz from it in any way. And my passion was in communication and influence and helping people. And I did it in my corporate job, but I also did it for my clients, getting them results. I was helping people getting results. So I had a coaching business, and I was training people to communicate and present confidently. That was kind of my background alongside my corporate career. But they were holding themselves back, as all humans seem to do, in various different ways, and kind of not putting themselves forward. And I was actually mainly working with women, but there were sort of guys as well. So it kind of all came together. I designed the system that got people promoted. That was my offer. I got people promoted, and I'd take them through this system, and I would charge them for like 10 sessions. In 10 sessions, I would take them through the system, and I would help them communicate, go into work and communicate in a way that was attractive to get them the promotion. And it was awesome. And I remember this was like one of the ding light bulb moments for me. I had one specific client, and she was earning like $150,000 a year, which she was in the tech industry. So that's a lot for some people, but for her, she was being hugely undervalued. And she said to me, Laura, you know, I hate asking for more money, but I know that I'm worth it and I want to go further and, you know, I want to get promoted. I'm good enough to kind of get to that next level. And I actually knew, I also worked in the tech industry. I knew she was worth that in the market. And I kind of walked her through my system at the time. And I gave her the confidence, the tools, the confidence to go in and double her salary. And get this, she actually did it in 2 months. I was blown away. She did it in 2 months. And she calls me up and she's like, hey, Laura, you won't believe it. I went through your script. I did all the stuff. I went into that meeting with the framework, how you told me to ask for the promotion and what to say. And I've jumped 2 grades up in my package, including my pension. And that, you know, I'm now, it's like $300,000. And I was like, ooh, that's pretty freaking awesome, right? So the impact on her life financially was an extra $150,000 a year. Wow. And the value of that system, what I'd given her over like the next 20 years minimum, assuming she never got another pay rise, which I'm sure she would have done, is worth to her like $3 million in 20 years. That's worth $3 million. And the result, you know, and there was more than that, you know, the result to her personally, belief in herself, her status. She was at VP level, excelling in her career, building her network, all of those things that comes with that kind of confidence that you get once you have the ability to do that. And you want to know what I charged her?
$100.
No, not $100, but I charged her $5,000.
And she made like 3 million. Wow.
$5,000. And it was worth over 20 years, 3 million minimum. So who here thinks charging that hourly rate back then, which was my rate was like $500 an hour, was outrageously undervaluing the outcome I helped the client get? Yeah. And I remember thinking that at the time, and I remember thinking like the system I have is worth more than that hourly fee. And so I started increasing it kind of incrementally. But it wasn't until I came across an amazing lady called Eileen Wilder, who is now a coach of mine. And she taught me one of the most valuable lessons learned for my business. And that is charge for the results. No more charging by the hour, no more charging for the process, no more charging what other coaches are charging. Charge for the outcome you help people get. Makes sense, right?
And, you know, so many things you've said, we undervalue ourselves. Yeah.
How undervalued was that? You know, I hadn't even thought of it like that. But if you clearly communicate the end result and the value of that result, people will pay you for that result. They'll pay you. And she also taught me one of the most other valuable lessons, you know, it's not just about money. She, in order to charge that high ticket, in order to attract those high ticket clients, in order to deliver so much value, the investment is just like logical, right? I had to make a shift in my mind. I had to think about myself. I had to make a commitment to go pro and go all in on what that means to me as a coach, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, for the offer and for the business. And I shifted to that high ticket model, and I was able, it does so much. It does so much. We're going to talk more about that in the masterclass. But it meant that I was able to move to a premium high touch service for the clients that I work with, which means working less. It means working less, and it means scaling my business at the same time. And actually, you mentioned Chrissa, who's not here with us today, but when I met Chrissa, who was also struggling in her coaching business, you know, long hours, lots of client calls, lots of like sales calls, and sort of getting completely overwhelmed. And we connected, and Laurie, you know, we connected from two very different worlds. We actually realized that back then that there were lots of coaches and entrepreneurs like us who were stuck exactly where we were, working really hard, but stuck. And that is why we set up the Offer Accelerator Live Masterclass, where we really help the people that come there captivate and convert premium clients easily. It's like a shift, it's a transformational shift. And do it. And we talked about over 40, that's quite generous for me, over,
Me
over
too.
40, you know, doing it in a way where that, you know, it's without that kind of salesy, sleazy, marketing bro, sales pressure that we all absolutely hate and we don't want to do business like that. And be able to really very easily scale your business by 5x.
Well, you haven't. Oh,
No, I was just going to say, so that's kind of where we got started.
well, you have this system, and what I love about it is that something that you mentioned to me is that so many times we try to do a system that's not created for women. This is created for mature women, and that makes a difference. I want to learn from someone who's been there, done that, because like you say, we can try all these things that really don't work for us. And so yours is so tailored to us. Can you tell us about your system?
Yeah, and actually we we go in much more detail in the masterclass about how to really understand what the market is selling and how you can tailor it. As you say, we're not like cool, we sort of joke, we don't have our pictures of us in Ferraris. We don't, you know, I mean, we like Ferraris, but we're not like, yeah, you're gonna buy a Ferrari in 2 seconds, or blah, 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 you know. And it's really very much tailored to the audience that we work with, that we kind of appeal to. And I think that's really important. In terms of the system, now, pop quiz. Who here has ever bought a book but never read it? Or an item of clothing and maybe you haven't worn it? Yeah. And who here has bought those marketing bro trainings, or bought training, but somehow you've never been able to implement the steps in the way that you have, right? And you're not alone, because the system that we put together is kind of from that basis that everybody's come from. And I remember, I think I've told you this story before, Laurie. I remember I was a gazillion years ago, and this is my age coming in here. I went to a conference in the US, and I think it was either Dallas or Atlanta. And I'm sitting in that 3-day conference, and I was like, I was in awe of the people on the stage. And it was actually, if anyone knows, it was a Dan Kennedy event, who is like the god of marketing. And it was back when he was doing events with Bill Glazer, and I think Frank Kern was there. It was like, I was like blown away. And it was like one of the first times I came into contact with marketing and this sort of world. And I virtually bought everything that was on offer over those 3 days. I literally bought everything. I bought something on setting up my own TV channel, and that was before YouTube. So there, you know, you had to get producers and all of that stuff around. I bought stuff on copywriting secrets. I bought a course on scaling my business to $250 million. And at the time, I wasn't even doing $1 million, but I'm like, yes, I need that course to scale to 250. I bought courses on marketing funnels. I bought a course on managing difficult employees, and I didn't have any employees. But I bought the course in case you know what I mean? And you know, when you're kind of running to the back and like everybody's being, yeah, credit card, credit card, credit card. And I kind of got home and I was like buzzing. I'd had this amazing time. And I remember trying to explain it to my husband at the time, why I needed all of that stuff. And he was like, yeah, okay, whatever you say, kind of thing. And a week later, I was buzzing. 2 weeks later, I was like kind of buzzing. And 3 weeks later, I was like totally lost. I was lost. And there were marketing systems so complex. I had no idea what to do, how to put them together, all that spiel in e-commerce, my abandoned cart, blah, 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 blah. And not only did I have a load of stuff that I didn't need at the time, I was just totally overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. And actually, Laurie, I felt really guilty. I've gone and spent all this money and I felt really guilty. And I was focused, and it kind of silly looking back now what I bought, but I was focused on the wrong thing. And I was playing the kind of entrepreneur overwhelm game, and I was playing the game, the money slow game, trying to figure it all out with all this stuff. And who knows, the fast track and the leverage to everything in our business is simplification.
So true.
Right? Simple systems that get you results, because simple scales. If I could go back and tell myself that then, life's a learning lesson. And for any coach or business owner, that's a wildly cash flow positive, high ticket offer system that you can scale. And it means you develop a high ticket offer, high touch service. That's what I love about it. You can really serve your clients at a high level. There's a whole load of things that also happen from their perspective too, without that really hard salesy, hard selling awkwardness. Does that sound like the type of thing that you want in your business? I was like, oh yes, oh yes. And that's why we put together the high ticket offer accelerator system. And to answer your question, Laurie, it was really to simplify the process and focus on scaling the business fast. So the first step is high ticket offer, right? Getting your high ticket, designing, creating your high ticket offer, creating that irresistible high ticket offer that captivates and converts premium clients and does it predictably. And that will enable you to really scale very quickly and easily. And we have the system to do that, to enable you to do that. And that's what we're going to go through in the masterclass. And there, as I said, there are lots of other reasons to go for high ticket, and we're going to cover all of it again. We don't have time to go through them now. So that's step one, the high ticket offer. Step two is an authentic, non-salesy pitch for us over 40 women who don't drive Ferraris in public. I mean, have you ever, and I've done that, been pitched when you're kind of like, you're desperate to get off the call, like you've got someone, blah, 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 and you're just like, oh, go away, you're selling to me, I hate, and worse maybe is, have you ever pitched to someone when you're feeling, kind of awkward and salesy, right? And there is another way, that thankfully there is another way. And imagine having a highly influential and simplified way to pitch that is non-sleazy, easy, and engaging. And it's like inviting clients to invest in your programs. And it feels like it's like inviting your best friend over for a party, and they're like super excited to come over. Yeah. So it changes everything. It changes everything. So that's kind of step two. So you've got your high ticket offer. You then need a way to be able to pitch it in that way that is really authentic, especially for us when we're kind of more mature. And then step three is like a simplified system to scale. so that you can at least 5x your coaching business easily with these high ticket offers as the lever. So step 1, high ticket offer. Step 2, an authentic, non-salesy pitch. And step 3 is that simplified system to scale. Sound good?
I'm in. I'm in. And the fact that for me, it's so many stumbling blocks so to be with somebody who's been there, done that, and helping me just avoid all of those pitfalls.
Mhm.
And I also, Eileen is our coach, and it's always an invitation. People don't ever lean back; they always lean in. And another thing that something that you had said that really makes sense is it takes a little bit of a mind shift, because we might be used to doing business a certain way, but when we can change our mindset and look to a high ticket, more specified, more helpful way, it might make us feel a little nervous or scared at first, but it is a way to serve better. So what gets in people's way? What keeps them?
Yeah, you're so right. And we all kind of go through various different ways in our lives and in our businesses. And it's it's a really good question. And it'd be how many people watching this feel resistance when you're thinking about charging higher ticket, and whether you are starting from like 2K and you want to go to 10K, or whether you're going from 10K to 100K, or whether you're going from 100K to 200, naturally there's resistance. We feel resistance. And there's kind of lots of things that hold people back in that process: marketing, tech, wealth mindset, belief in yourself, how to design the high ticket offers, how to make them, how to really get that momentum. And like one of the biggest challenge we see with people is really undervaluing themselves, undervaluing. And when you're like, you're so, I really like was challenged with this in the past, because again, I was tech and marketing, I've been around it so much that you forget that what you know is hugely valuable to other people. And it's like, actually doing an inventory of your expertise is a great exercise. We're going to be doing more of this in the masterclass. And I mean a real inventory. How much time have you invested learning your knowledge? How many years? How many conferences have you been to? How many flights have you taken? How many books have you read? How many courses have you done? How much money have you invested? How many clients have you worked with? How many results have you got for people? And actually writing that all down and thinking, wow, I know some stuff. and like you said, Laura, charging high ticket is connected to the value that you place on yourself as well. It's kind of connected, going pro, and how professional you are. And it's actually worth taking that stock check. I think when I did it, I was like, oh God, yeah, spent a fortune learning this stuff. I spent years learning this stuff, and really asking yourself, how much are you really worth? How much value do you really bring to the table? And how much is that result that you give to your clients worth to them? Because you can do it faster, better, easier. That's the value. And when you get out of your own way, think of it like that, that's where the value of what you offer becomes so clear. So I think that's like one of the biggest sort of humps that I think you have to continually get over when you're, creating these high ticket offers.
Well, you say scale quickly, and something else you said was when you scaled this woman quickly, you helped her, but then she had such a long-term effect. And I think that that's the combination that you bring that is so beautiful is, when you're talking about mature women, we don't have 10 years to build a business. We want to get up, get going, and get our information out there. So is there anything else you can think of that might keep someone from scaling up?
Yeah. There are lots of things. But actually, I think another, and just that sort of going on from that mindset piece is like, have you ever procrastinated on when you're thinking about new offers and scaling your business? And it's like getting out of that human comfort zone, isn't it? And you're kind of like, and there's a really good book, which you may or may not have read, called Think and Grow Rich. And you don't have to have read it, but there's this short story in that book. And I'm going to just tell you that quick story, Laurie. It's about W. Clement Stone. And if you don't know who he is, he was like this dude who was like this. So I think he was a self-made billionaire, but ages ago. So he was like, I don't know, he ran the world, I think. And actually, he attributed his success down to one phrase. One phrase. You want to know what it was? In fact, he made himself say that phrase 100 times a day between the time he walked out of his apartment and he got down to the ground floor. And the phrase, there were 3 words, and he said it repeatedly 100 times, and it was, do it now. Do it now, do it now, do it now. And he actually made the people who worked for him say, do it now as well. He made them do it. Why? Because he understood the number one enemy of success is not a lack of opportunities, it's not other people, it's not resources, it's not even about the background that you come from. The number one enemy of success is delay. And Napoleon Hill said, successful people make decisions quickly and unsuccessful people make decisions slowly. And if there's anyone here today who, if you're honest with yourself, kind of procrastinated on some stuff, and maybe you're stuck in a pattern of delay, where you're telling yourself, I'll get to it tomorrow, later, next week. And it's so powerful to be able to overcome simply by saying, do it now, do it now. Why? Because it's about your purpose. We're talking about this before we got on this call, Laurie. It's about your purpose, it's about your potential, and it's about your success, and it's about your legacy. So do it now. Do it now.
I always say in my podcast class, I always say, push record, because it's those things when we don't take the action. If we just do it, it's like, I've seen that video of people trying to jump off a high dive. And if they get up and jump, but if they stall, most of them end up going back. Yeah. And so that's so powerful. And when we think of more mature women, let's do it now. Let's get this going. So what do we do? How do we get in?
Do it now. Do it now. It's actually amazing if you say that to yourself and you start all that, you just, even if you're not about to jump off a 100-foot diving board, but, by just saying that, you start doing the stuff. I mean, it's so simple. Again, it's simplicity that has massive, leverage in your life. So if you're a coach or a consultant or a business owner and you want to go from Struggle-ville to elegant high ticket offers that convert premium clients and at least 5x your business, then join us. We're there for the Offer Accelerator Masterclass, where we're going to walk through the Offer Accelerator system that helps you design your high ticket offers, do your authentic non-salesy pitch, and simplified strategies to scale. And I would encourage you massively, do it now, to invest in a VIP ticket. It's like $47. And you're going to get in the private VIP room. You're going to get your specific questions answers. You're going to get everything that you need to start really taking that action and being able to 5x your business. So go to www.offeracceleratorlive.com/Laurie, Laurie, and do it now. Get the ticket. If you want to go from Struggle-ville to elegant high ticket offers, convert premium clients, be wildly cash flow positive whilst transforming people's lives and develop that high touch service for your clients. www.offeracceleratorlive.com/Laurie. And not only have we got all of that, but we've also got you, Laurie, as speaking there, where Laurie's going to be training in her Launch in a Week podcast system that transforms your content ideas into live podcast episodes quickly and easily, and then systematically leveraging that content across all your social platforms and promoting your high ticket offers. It's awesome. It really, really is. And it's something we are putting into place ourselves. So go to www.offeracceleratorlive.com/Laurie. We'll see you there. Reserve your VIP ticket and do it now.
Thank you so much.